holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity karmakanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not to have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Before we move on to the next session, may I know who all joined this morning?
हरे कृष्णा विनीता गंधर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी प्रभुशाल हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Srimati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your wonderful services, Mataji. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्णा विनीता गंधर्विका माताजी
हरे कृष्णा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज श्यामा गौरी देवी दासी फ्रॉम चार्लेट
Hare Krishna, Sham Gauri Mataji, Danat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining, and thank you for all the wonderful services to the Bhakti Sangha, Mataji. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. My Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. This is Susmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Shashmita Mataji, Danat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and chatting so beautifully. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Okay, I'll chant for some time because we are 3 minutes early and we don't do introduction for Prabhu. Prabhu don't like introduction, so we'll wait, we'll chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Nam
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama, Nam
Hare
Nam
Hare,
Nam,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Nam Nam
Hare
Nam, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Nam
Krishna
Nam
Krishna,
Nam,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Devi,
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram,
Devi,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Sadhu,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Nam
Krishna,
Nam,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama, Nam
Ram,
Nam
Ram,
Nam,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Nam
Hare
Nam
Krishna,
Nam,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Nam
Krishna
Nam
Krishna,
Nam,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama,
जय श्री
Nam
कृष्ण
Nam
चैतन्य
Nam,
प्रभु
Hare Hare
नित्यानंद
Hare
श्री अद्वैत
Krishna, Hare
गदाधर
Krishna,
श्रीवासदि
Krishna
गौरभक्त
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama, Nam
हरे
Nam
राम
Nam,
राम
Hare
राम हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
हरे हरे
Hare Hare.
राम राम
Hare
राम हरे
Rama,
हरे हरे
Nam
कृष्ण
Nam
हरे
Nam,
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare Krishna,
राम
Krishna
राम हरे हरे
Krishna, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Rama,
हरे
Nam
हरे
Nam Nam, Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
हरे हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare Hare.
राम
Hare
राम
Rama,
हरे हरे
Nam Nam
हरे
Nam,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
राम
Krishna
राम
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
हरे हरे
Hare.
कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Rama,
हरे
Nam
राम
Nam Nam, Hare
राम
Hare
हरे हरे
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare Hare.
राम हरे हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama,
कृष्ण हरे
Nam
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Nam
कृष्ण
Nam,
हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण या प्रभु जी जॉइंड हरे Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 7th chapter, 12 to 14 verses. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for giving this opportunity to speak some words on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we are going to discuss from the 7th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 12 to 14. Said the Shloka. I'll begin with the Mangalacharana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshvapatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Tirbhavati Naitiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So we'll read from the 7th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 12. ततो मे मातरम ऋषि समानीय निजाश्रमे आश्वास्ये होष्यतां वत्से यावत्ते भर्तुरागमः. Prahlad Maharaj continued, Tatah, thereafter, may my Mataram mother, Rishihi, the great saint Narada, Samaniya, bringing Nijashrame to his own ashrama, Ashwasya, giving her assurance, Iha, here, Ushyatam, stay, Vatse, my dear child, Yavat, until Te, your, Partuhu of the husband, Agamaha, the coming. Are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you clearly.
Prahlad Maharaj continued, the great saint Narada Muni brought my mother to his ashrama and assured her of all protection, saying, my dear child, please remain at my ashrama until the arrival of your husband. Next verse. Tatetyavatsi devarsher antike sakuto bhaya yavat daityapatir khorat tapasonanyavartata. After accepting the instructions of Devarshi Narada, my mother stayed in his care without fear from any direction, as long as my father, the king of the Daityas, had not become free from his severe austerities. Rishim Paryacharat Tatra Thya Paramaya Sati Antarvatni Swagarbhasya Shema Yecha Prasutaye. My mother, being pregnant, desired the safety of her embryo and desired to give birth after her husband's arrival. Thus, she stayed at Narada Muni's ashrama, where she rendered service unto Narada Muni with great devotion. Purport. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.19.17, Matra swasra duhitra va navivikta sano bhavet Bhalavan indriya gramo vidvamsamapi karshati. One should not remain in a secluded place with a woman, even one's mother, sister, or daughter. Nonetheless, although one is strictly prohibited from staying with a woman in a secluded place, Narada Muni gave shelter to Prahlad Maharaj's young mother, who rendered service to him with great devotion and faith. Does this mean that Narada Muni transgressed the Vedic injunctions? Certainly he did not. Such injunctions are intended for mundane creatures. But Narada Muni is transcendental to mundane categories. Narada Muni is a great saint and is transcendentally situated. Therefore, although he was a young man, he could give shelter to a young woman and accept her service. Haridas Thakur also spoke with a young woman, a prostitute, in the dead of night. But the woman could not deviate his mind. Indeed, she became a Vaishnavi, a pure devotee, by the benediction of Haridas Thakur. Ordinary persons, however, should not imitate such highly elevated devotees. Ordinary persons must strictly observe the rules and regulations by staying aloof from the association of women. No one should imitate Narada Muni or Haridas Thakur. It is said, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigyena Bhujaya. Even if a man is very advanced in learning, he cannot understand the behavior of a Vaishnava. Anyone can take shelter of a pure Vaishnava without fear. Therefore, in the previous verse, it has been distinctly said, Devarsher Antike Sakuto Bhaya. Kayadu, the mother of Prahlad Maharaj, stayed under the protection of Narada Muni without fear from any direction. Similarly, Narada Muni, in his transcendental position, stayed with the young women without fear of deviation. Narada Muni, Haridas Thakur, and similar acharyas, especially empowered to broadcast the glories of the Lord, cannot be brought down to the material platform. Therefore, one is strictly forbidden to think that the acharya is an ordinary human being. Gurushu Naramatihi. Very beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. So we see in this particular chapter, Prahlad Maharaj is speaking to his classmates, chapter 6 and chapter 7. Prahlad Maharaj is narrating about the classmates of Prahlad Maharaj asked Prahlad Maharaj, where did you learn all this transcendental knowledge which you are speaking to us? Who taught you all this? In order to answer that, Prahlad Maharaj is actually narrating the story of how he was instructed by Narada Muni when he was in the womb of the mother. And when the Hiranyakashipu was performing austerities, Kayadu was pregnant. At that time, the Devatas, because they were so afraid of Hiranyakashipu, and they wanted to kill the child of Hiranyakashipu so that the future legacy of Hiranyakashipu will not continue. So they wanted to capture Kayadu, and as soon as Kayadu gives birth to the child, and they wanted to kill the child. But Narada Muni told that this child is going to be a great Mahabhagavata devotee. This child cannot be killed by you. So the Devatas, they had faith in the words of Narada Muni. And then they circumvented Narada Muni, and then they left that place. And then Narada Muni, Tato me mataram rishihi samaniya nijashrame. So Narada Muni brought the Kayadu, my mother, to his hermitage, ashram. Ashwasya iha ushyatam. Ashwasya. He gave her assurance. He pacified her. Iha ushyatam. Please remain here. Yavatte Bharturagama. Till your husband returns, you can retain here. You can remain here. In that way, Narada Muni gave assurance of protection to Kaya. And then he said, and then Tatet Avad Seed Devarsher Antike Sakuto Baya. Tata iti Avad Seed. Kayadu agreed to his words, and Kayadu stayed in Narada Muni's ashrama Sa Akuto Baya, without any fear. Yavat Daityapatir Gora Tapasona Nyavartata. Till the time the Daityapati Hiranyakashipu continued his Gora Tapasa. Gora Tapasa means severe austerities. Till he continued his austerities, she stayed there without any fear. And then Rishim Paryacharat Tatra Bhaktya Paramaya Sati. So Paryacharat, rendering service. Paricharyatmakam, Krishna talks about the qualities of a Shudra. He says that Paricharyatmakam. Paricharya means rendering service. Paryacharat. So Kayadu rendered service unto Narada Muni. Bhaktya, Paramaya Bhaktya, with great devotion. Antarvatni Swagarbhasya Kshemaya Icha Prasutaye. Kshemaya Icha Prasutaye. She was desiring the Kshema, the auspiciousness of what? Icha Prasutaye. Auspiciousness of her child who is in her womb, Swagarbhasya. With that, desiring the auspiciousness of the child who was in the womb, she was rendering service to Narada Muni with great devotion. So in this actually purport, Srila Prabhupada is actually highlighting this one instruction which comes in the 9th canto, how especially for a sadhu or a sannyasi, this instruction becomes very important. Matra swasra duhitrava navivikta sano bhavet Vallavan indriya gramo vidvamsam api karshat. Shastras sometimes when they speak such words, it may appear Shastras are very extreme. They go to extreme extent. Shastras say one should not stay alone, even with one's mother, sister, or a daughter. Because Balavan Indriya Grama Vidvamsam api karshati. Vidvamsam, even if a person is a highly learned, the Balavan Indriya Gramo, the senses are so powerful, even if a person is highly learned, the senses can deviate the mind of a learned person. So this is such kind of shlokas may appear little extreme, but they do. In fact, in one of the, I forget the name of that personality, but if somebody remembers the name, they can tell also. One of the disciples of Vyasadeva, when he read the shloka, he felt that how can this shloka is too extreme? How can this shloka be true? Vidvamsam api karshati. A person who is learned, who has studied the Shastras, how can his mind get deviated by staying alone with a man? So the disciples started doubting. So then there's a story which goes that once on that same day night, there was an intense rain. When there was an intense rain, uh, somebody was knocking at the door of his place. And there was a very beautiful woman. There was a woman who was actually drenched in the rains. She came, and this person gave shelter to the woman. But then, in the association of that woman, in the dead of the night, his mind got distorted. His mind developed the desire to enjoy that woman. So, at that time, I think the story goes. So that woman told him to actually take him to some particular place. Woman told that we should first get married, and then he said that, oh, we should get married immediately. But the women told that you have to carry me on your back. You have to carry me on your back. And so then this disciple of Vyasadeva agreed to the proposal, and he started carrying these women on the back. And when he was carrying the women on the back to the place where he wanted to get married, so at that time, that women suddenly started reciting this shloka. And then this disciple of Vyasadeva, when he heard this shloka, I was doubting this shloka when I was reading this shloka in the morning. Maybe there's a mistake in the shloka, Vidvamsam api karsha. But suddenly when he realized this shloka is being chanted, and then when he turned up, he saw that women transformed into the form of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva himself was there. So then at that time he realized that actually I doubted the meaning of the shloka, but this meaning of the shloka is very true. That even my mind got deviated by staying alone with the Surya. Like that he understood the meaning of the shloka. So these shlokas, sometimes Shastras, they do give such extreme shlokas. They were true. This particular story is actually also quoted in the Bhagavatam purport, one of the commentators to the Bhagavatam. So here, Prabhupada is quoting this particular shloka, and then he's raising a question. Is Narada Muni transgressing the injunction mentioned in the shloka? Then Narada Muni says that certainly the injunction in the shloka is important. But you cannot blame Narada Muni because these injunctions are definitely meant for the common people, but Narada Muni is above such injunctions. So just like a helicopter or an airplane, they don't have to follow the traffic rules. Great personalities like Narada Muni, Haridas Thakur, their mind, because of their absorption, superior absorption, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, their mind never gets deviated, even in the staying alone with the women, like Narada staying with the Kayadu, Haridas Thakur staying with the prostitute. So Prabhupada is highlighting this point. So the theme of the Prabhupada's purport here is that one should not actually bring down the exalted nature of a Vaishnava to an ordinary platform. So Narada Muni is exalted. Definitely, common people should be careful to follow the different rules and regulations. But the Narada Muni is somebody who is exalted. He cannot be brought down to the material platform. Haridas Thakur cannot be brought down to the material platform. So when we bring down an Acharya like Narada, a great Vaishnava, to an ordinary platform, see, Narada Muni is not following this rule, then that is called as a Gurushu Naramatihi. It is actually considering a Guru to be an ordinary person. It's a hellish mindset. So in this regard, I want to actually discuss some points. So when we talk, when we see in the scriptures at different times, they warn about considering the Guru or an Acharya to be an ordinary person. This is called as a Guru Laghava. Guru Laghava means trivializing the position of a Acharya or a Guru or a Vaishnava. Or Guru Dvesha. Guru Dvesha means showing envy towards the Guru. So Guru Laghava and Guru Dvesha should be avoided. Shastras very much warn against them. Krishna in the Uddhava Gita, Krishna says that Acharyam mam vijaniyan nava manyeta kargichit. Na martya buddhya suyeta sarva deva mayo guru. Know that the Guru is very dear to me, and the Guru should never be disobeyed or disrespected. Never envy him, thinking the Guru to be an ordinary mortal. Because Sarva Deva Mayo Guru, the Guru is the embodiment of all the Devatas. So Sanatana Goswami also says that Nasu Yeta Ma Dosha Drishtim Kuryat. That means Na Asuyeta means one should not look at the Guru with the vision to find faults in the Guru. That is possible only when we see the Guru as an ordinary person. Padma Purana also speaks a similar shloka, and two words of the shloka are mentioned by Prabhupada in the purport. Arche Vishnau Shiladi, Arche Vishnau Shiladir Gurushu Naramatir, Vaishnave Jati Buddhir, Vishnurva Vaishnavanam Kalimala Mathane Padatirthembu Buddhihi. श्री विष्णुर नामनि मंत्रे सकल कलुष हे शब्द सामान्य बुद्धिर विष्णु सर्वेश्वरेशे तद इतर समधीर यस्य वा नारकी सह. This verse from Padma Purana says that Arche Vishnu Shiladir, one who considers the Arche Vigraha of Vishnu to be a stone, say ordinary stone. Gurushu Naramatihi, one who thinks the Guru to be an ordinary human being. Vaishnave Jati Buddhir, one who sees a Vaishnava in terms of his caste. Vaishnavanam Kalimala Matane Padatirthembu Buddhihi, or one who considers the Charanamrita of Lord Vishnu, that is Ganges, as the ordinary water. And such people are considered to be the resident of hell. Vishnu Sarveshwareshe Itara Samadir Yasya Va Naraki Saha. Such people have a hellish mentality. A similar shloka is also spoken by Rupa Goswami in the Upadeshamrita. Drishtai Swabhava Janitai Vapushascha Doshair न प्राकृतत्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गंगाम्बसां न खलु बुदपेन पंकैर् ब्रह्मद्रवत्वमपगच्छति नीरधर्मैः. Rupa Goswami also says that one should not actually see a Vaishnava from a materialistic platform in terms of the body, in terms of the caste. One should not see a Vaishnava from material vision in terms of his bodily deformities. Ramanujacharya talks about, I think, 12 or 13 types of wrong vision. Janma Nirupana, Ashrama Nirupana, Varna Nirupana, like that. Sometimes one may see the Vaishnava from different types of material vision, based on his birth or based on which ashrama he belongs to, based on which occupation he performs, based on whether the person is a human or an animal, like that. Vaishnava. So that's such kind of a materialistic vision towards a Vaishnava or towards a Guru is considered to be a hellish mindset. Such a person deserves to be a resident of hell, like that the Shastras warn actually. Like one example of a person who had such kind of vision towards a Vaishnava is actually Daksha Prajapati. The way Daksha Prajapati perceived Lord Shiva, we can see that Daksha Prajapati saw Lord Shiva only from a material viewpoint. He saw Lord Shiva only as his son-in-law. he did not see the exalted position of a Lord Shiva either as a leader of a Devatas or as an exalted Vaishnava. He saw only from a bodily point of view, this person is my son-in-law, he is inferior to me and he is expected to show respect to me, but he did not show respect to me. So Daksha Prajapati, and therefore he criticized Lord Shiva. In the 4th canto, 2nd chapter, we see several verses how Lord Daksha Prajapati criticized Lord Shiva. So Hari Parshad Prabhu, I was hearing one class, was quoting a work of Pandita Raja Jagannath, one Vaishnava who talks about the result of finding fault with the Guru. Guru Dvesha Dushita Matinam Purusha Ayushenapi na Shakyante Ganayutum Pramadaha. The numerous errors of those individuals whose minds are polluted by the envy of their own Gurujanas cannot be counted even in the entire lifetime of a human being. So we see when a person finds fault with the Guru, that becomes a chain reaction, then he starts accumulating so many faults. Ramachandra Puri found fault with his Guru Madhavendra Puri. And then that led to his committing offenses towards other Vaishnavas, and that led to his committing offense even towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore the Shastras warn. So in fact, in Sanskrit, one of the word for a student or a disciple is Chatra. So when you see the Paniniya Vyakarana, the word Chatra, you will see in the Tadita Prakarana. I am not remembering the exact pratyaya, maybe I can find out later. But the Chatra word comes in the Tadita Prakarana. The etymology of the word Chatra is that Guru Dosha Chadanam Chatram Tachilamasya. Chatra means one who covers up the apparent faults of the Guru. Such a person is called as a Chatra. To cover up the apparent faults of the Guru is called as Chatra. The person who has an innate swabhava to cover up the apparent faults of the Guru, such a person is called as a Chatra. One whose innate swabhava is to cover up the apparent faults of the Guru is called as a Chatra. Like this kind of this can be seen even in the material world also. The material world also, suppose suppose a political leader is there. Even if the political leader makes some illogical, foolish statements, but still the followers of the political leader, they will somehow try to justify the statements of the political leader. One political leader said that Sanatana Dharma should be eradicated. It is like a mosquito like that. But the followers of the political leader, belonging to the party, they never actually say that it is wrong or something. They endorse that actually opinions. So when such people say such people are blind followers of a political leader, they are like the bootlickers actually. But in the spiritual platform, the spiritual sampradaya, a disciple, a true disciple will has an innate nature to cover up the apparent faults in the Guru. Then he is called as a Chatra. When the disciple does it, it is not a sycophant name. I mean, in the case of political leaders, followers, they are sycophants. They are like bootlickers. And therefore, they justify even the apparent, like complete blunders of the political leader. But in the case of a disciple, his duty is to cover up the apparent faults of the Guru. For example, we see this in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. I mentioned the example of Daksha Prajapati criticizing Lord Shiva in the 4th canto, 2nd chapter. But when you read the 4th canto, 4th chapter, when Sati goes to the sacrificial arena of Daksha, and Sati speaks several verses, in those verses, Sati gives a point by point reply to whatever Daksha had spoken earlier, criticizing Lord Shiva. Sati defends the every behavior of Lord Shiva. For example, Daksha Prajapati said that Pretavaseshu Goreshu Pretair Bhuta Ganair Vrataha Atat Yunmattavan Nagno Vyuptakesho Hasan Rudan Chita Basma Krita Snana Preta Sang Nasti Bhushanaha Shiva Padesho Keshibo Matto Matta Janapriyaha Pati Pramatanatanam Tamo Matratmakatmanam. Daksha said that this Shiva lives in filthy crematoriums and his companions are ghosts and demons. He is naked like a madman, sometimes laughs and cries. His name is called as Shiva, that means auspicious, but actually he is at most an inauspicious creature. He is very dear to the crazy people, bhutas and pishachas who are in the mode of ignorance. Like that, Daksha criticized. But Sati defends. Why I'm mentioning is that because how Sati is acting as a true Chhatra. Sati defends by saying, Kim va Shivakyam Ashivam, Kim va Shivakyam Ashivam na vidustvadanye Brahmadayat Tamavakirya Jata Smashane Tanmalya Basma Nrupakapalya Avasat Pishachair Yair Murdavir Dadati Tacharana Vasrishtam. So Sati says that great respectable personalities who are more respectable than you, like Lord Brahma, they show respect to Lord Shiva. When personalities like Lord Brahma who are more respectable than you, do they not know the inauspicious nature of Lord Shiva? You are saying that Lord Shiva is inauspicious, but persons like Lord Brahma who are more respectable than you, they don't say that Lord Shiva is inauspicious. In fact, Lord Shiva associates with the demons in the crematorium, and his locks of hair are scattered all over his body, and he wears a garland of human skulls, and he smears ashes with the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect in their heads. So, Brahma is much superior to you. Brahma does not consider these external inauspicious features of Lord Shiva. Brahma is hankering for the Mahaprasada garlands of Lord Shiva, the flowers offered to Lord Shiva. Like that, Sati is giving an exact rebuttal to Daksha's argument. In this way, Sati is acting as a true Chhatra. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his bhajan in the Kalyana Kalpataru, he talks about a person who finds fault with the Sampradaya. Like sometimes, as I mentioned, like sometimes a person finds fault with one's own Guru or with one's own Acharya. Sometimes that fault finding tendency may go to the extent that one may find fault even with the sampradaya. For example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Kalyana Kalpataru, he talks about the dangers of finding fault with one's own sampradaya. He says that, "O mind, I speak to you today. In an immature stage of devotion, you met a cheater, and by the association of a cheater, your mind got deviated. And because of that, you ended up selling your freedom of thought. Now you have developed a new talent for finding fault with the entire sampradaya. Certainly, remembering these apparent faults, you very carefully try to purify yourself. Wearing neck beads no longer, marking your forehead with tilaka no longer, you have now made up your own new set of rules and regulations. You have rejected your initiating guru. Rejecting the initiating guru is like something like giving a spiritual divorce, because the Shastras accepting a guru is like a kind of a marriage, actually, like a marriage. So you have rejected your initiating guru because you now experience his influence as a burning sensation in your heart. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is warning about this mindset. And then he says that, "Dear mind, you artificially agree with your former philosophy, but you really don't accept or follow it. Indeed, you broadcast your own whimsical concoctions by considering yourself as some sort of an incarnation. And in this way, you find faults, find mistakes in the great devotees, and you completely rejected the spiritual path." So like that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is warning about a person who finds faults with the sampradaya. So whatever I have spoken so far, this is in the topic of Guru Laghava or Guru Dvesha, where a person considers the Guru to be an ordinary, or a person hates the Guru, or finds faults with the sampradaya. So Shastras warn about that, and Prabhupada's theme of the purport is in this line. But there is also another extreme, another extreme of Guru Laghava and Guru Dvesha is that Guru Gaurava Atishaya. Gaurava means respecting. Guru Gaurava means respecting the Guru. Guru Gaurava Atishaya means excessively showing respect to the Guru, or overestimating the position of the Guru. So what is this concept of Guru Gaurava Atishaya? For example, when a person considers the Guru to be equal to Bhagavan, that is a Guru Gaurava Atishaya. When some of the followers of Srila Prabhupada, when they actually, when they started, suddenly they started saying that Prabhupada is Krishna. Like that they started propagating. So when Prabhupada came to know this, Prabhupada said that there is only one thing which is worse than underestimating the Guru. What is that? Overestimating the Guru. That is nothing but Guru Gaurava Atishaya. So they have said that I am God. Therefore, if I am God, they can also become God. This is nothing but impersonalism or Mayavad. So, Sakshat Daritvena Samasta Shastre Yuktas Bhav Yatayeva Sadhi Kintu Praborya Priyevatasya Vande Guru Sri Charana Ravindam. One should respect the Guru like the Bhagavan, but not that one should consider the Guru to be Bhagavan. So, for example, in the Bhagavatam second canto, when Narada Muni saw, he was telling to Brahma that you independently create the entire creation. It appears that you are the Supreme Lord. But at the same time, I am getting a doubt. Sa bhavan acharat goram yat tapah susamahitah tena khedayase nastvam parashankam cha yachasi. You are moved to wonder about the existence of someone more powerful than you. Yet we are moved to wonder about the existence of somebody more powerful than you when we think of your great austerities in perfect discipline. So Narada Muni saw that how Brahma was able to create everything without any external help. Because of that, he thought that Brahma is the Supreme Lord. But at the same time, Narada Muni noticed that Brahma also performs intense tapasya, Goram Tapah. So by that, Narada got a doubt. Probably there is somebody who is more powerful than Brahma. So Narada is submitting that question. So Prabhupada writes in that purport, the second kind of 5th chapter, following in the footsteps of Narada Muni, one should not blindly accept a spiritual master as God himself. A spiritual master is duly respected on par with Krishna, but a spiritual master who claims to be Krishna should be at once rejected. So therefore, Narada Muni's example is important. Narada Muni did not blindly accept Brahma as Bhagavan. Doubts came, therefore he is submitting those doubts to Brahma. So Guru Gaurava Atishaya, one aspect of Guru Gaurava Atishaya means considering the Guru to be equal to Bhagavan. Another aspect of Guru Gaurava Atishaya is that considering the Guru to be independent of the Sampradaya. When a person thinks that my Guru does not need to be within a Sampradaya. He is so independently powerful, he doesn't need to follow a Sampradaya. So this is also Guru Gaurava Atishaya. Or a person thinks that my Guru can even overrule the Shastra and he can even change the Shastra and he does not need the Shastra. To think like that, that is also a Guru Gaurava Atishaya. Or a person thinks that my Guru or my Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, he has not commented on Ramayana. He has not commented on Mahabharata. Therefore, I will not read Ramayana, Mahabharata. Because one devotee, it was a real story, one devotee during Ramayana many years back, during Ram Navami, he was reading Ramayana. There was another devotee, he said, how can you read Ramayana? It is not written by Prabhupada. And then he snatched that Ramayana. Our Acharyas have not commented, therefore one should not read. Also, it is the words of Valmiki and Vyasadeva. So to say like that, it is nothing but Acharya Gaurava Atishaya. It is a excessive respect, or it is another extreme of the Guru Laghava, Acharya Gaurava Atishaya. So therefore, the Guru Gaurava Atishaya may come in different ways actually. So Guru Gaurava Atishaya, a Guru is basically a representative of the Sampradaya, bona fide Sampradaya. He is a representative of the Shastra. But to think the Guru as independent of the Sampradaya and Shastra, that is the Guru Gaurava Atishaya. So sometimes an Acharya, to prove a particular point, sometimes he may quote a authority of the material world, like a scientist, for actually telling a particular point. But sometimes generally many times the authorities in the material world, their scientific result may change, may vary. So when the guru is quoting an authority from the material world, and those authorities of the material world, their statements may change over a period of time. So sometimes those disciples who have a overzealous attitude towards the guru, that means the guru gaurava atishaya attitude towards the guru, they may start fighting based on those statements of the guru which are made in a particular context in which he quoted the authorities of the material world. Oh, he has quoted this statement. Like the guru might have quoted some statement of the material authority, but then that statement research may change, and then it may vary. So, but then overzealous disciple may say, oh, because the guru has said, it has to be correct. We cannot be rejected. So that kind of, that is also another attitude of a Guru Gaurav Atishaya. So Guru Gaurav Atishaya, this is also an important thing, because Guru Gaurav Atishaya, in a simple way, or in a more, how we can say that Guru Gaurav Atishaya means being a Guru fan club member. And this kind of culture is also very much prevalent in the current times, because oftentimes in the current times, many times the people come from that culture. People are used to worshipping the film stars or the sports stars like a god, like that. We see in the world. And then sometimes in that background, when we come to spirituality, we may adopt the same attitude towards a spiritual personality like a fan club member. Sometimes the previous conditioning, it takes some time. Many times it takes some years also to realize that a certain condition, completely give up that condition. So we may see a spiritual personality also from the same perspective of a fan club member, the Guru Gaurav Atishaya. In the case of a spiritual personality like a Guru or an Acharya, we should see them as a representatives of the Shastra, representatives of the Sampradaya. So therefore, we have to find a balance between Guru Laghava and Guru Gaurava Atishaya. So what is the balance approach between Guru Laghava and Guru Gaurava Atishaya? We have to put faith in the Guru centered around Shastra. That this called as Shastrokta Guru Nishtha. Putting faith in the Guru centered around the Shastra. And this mindset is actually important in the mind of a disciple, the mind of a student, right in the very beginning of the education. Traditionally, when a person gets educated in any traditional sampradaya, the first actually subject which will be educated is the Shiksha Shastra. Shiksha is one of the Vedanga. Shiksha Shastra is about the pronunciation of the letters. Ucharana Vijnana. So in the Yajnavalkya Shiksha is one of the Shiksha Shastra. That means it is one of the first steps in the education. In that itself, there is a shloka which comes. Hari Parshatru was quoting in the class, actually. Very beautiful class. Learned this whole theme from his class. Yajnavalkya Shiksha, it is mentioned, Yukti Yuktam Vacho Grakyam Nagrakyam Guru Gauravat Sarva Shastra Rakasyam Tad Yajnavalkyena Bhashitam. One should only accept a logical conclusion in accordance with the scriptures. One should not accept a statement as a factual conclusion simply out of zealous pride in relation to one's Guru. Nagrakyam Guru Gauravat. Guru Gaurava, the word. That's why I mentioned Guru Gaurava Atishaya. One should not simply accept a statement simply out of Guru Gaurava Atishaya, simply out of a zealous pride towards one's Guru. This secret of all scriptures has been spoken by the great sage Yagyavalkya. So therefore, we see the nature of the Shastra is that Shastra is free from the four defects of a human being. Brahma, Pramada, Karanapatava and Vipralipsa. So, Baldev Vidyabhushan in a Siddhanta Darpana he mentions Jiva Vakyeshu Labhyante Jiva Dharma Brahmadaya Vede tu Naivate Santi Sarvagnya Vachanochaye.
Hari Prabhuji.
So, Baldev Vidyabhushan says that in the statements made by all the living entities, we may find different inherent faults like Brahma, Pramada, Karanapata, Vipralipsa. But these faults, they are part of the existence of all living entities, but such faults are not present in the Vedas, since they are the words of the omniscient Supreme Lord. That is why the Vedas are called as Apaurushaya. So, we see that Krishna himself gives importance to the Shastra as the Pramana. Yaha Shastra Vidhi Mutsrajya Vartate Kamakaratah Nasasiddhim Avapnoti Nasukam na Param Gatim. One who discards the injunctions of the Shastra and acts according to one's own whims neither attains perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavastitau Nyatva Shastra Vidanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty according to the Shastra. And knowing such rules, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Krishna is giving importance to the Shastra. And another purport in Madhya Leela, 20th chapter, 352nd sloka, Prabhupada says that Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. One should accept a thing as genuine based on these three factors, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And he says that out of the three, the actual center is the Shastra. If the spiritual master does not act according to Shastra, he should not be accepted. If a saintly person does not speak according to the Shastra, he should not be accepted. The Shastra is the center of Guru and the Sadhu also. So therefore, Sadhu means Titikshava, Karunika, Suhurda Sarvadegina, Ajata Shatrava Shanta, Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. In that verse also, Prabhupada says that Sadhu means one who abides by the injunctions of the Shastra. So therefore, we find that even the exalted acharyas like Jiva Goswami, who wrote the Hari Namamrita Vyakarana, a completely new system of Vyakarana by using the holy names of Krishna. In that, Jiva Goswami, he says that in this Harinamamrita Vyakarana, whatever has not been expressed clearly should be thoroughly researched. And whatever errors have creeped in should be thoroughly corrected by referring to the other systems of grammar. Other systems of grammar, he is referring to the Paniniya Vyakarana. Yadatra Vyaktam Uktam Na Khantam Vat Asheshatah Nyeyam Shodhyam Cha Vigneyo Vigya Shastravalokatam. So, Jiva Goswami, we see the exalted Acharya, he is taking this approach. In one of the letters he wrote to Srinivas Acharya, he said that I have previously sent you the Harinamamrita Vyakarana In case if you are teaching Harinamamrita Vyakarana, you should correct any mistakes or errors in accordance with the views given in the other authoritative systems of grammar like Paniniya Vyakarana, Kashika Vritti, which is a commentary on Paniniya Vyakarana, or Patanjali's Mahabhashya on the Paniniya Vyakarana. So Jiva Goswami, he is not wanting his followers to have blind faith in him. He is wanting his followers to accept his writings centered around the Shastra. So he is not actually instilling the, he is neither encouraging these followers to have Guru Laghava nor the Guru Gaurava. So therefore, Prabhupada also, when he was having a conversation with Jayadvaita Maharaj, he said that when we say Acharya is perfect, his perfection is that Acharya is not God. He said Acharya is a servant of God because he is preaching the pure devotional service, therefore he is perfect. There may be certain apparent faults in the pronunciation of the shloka, accent of this one. Sometimes he may forget certain shlokas. That human errors may be there. But still the Acharya is perfect because he is the preaching the pure devotional service. That is his perfection. So therefore, when we say the Guru is perfect or the Acharya is perfect, why we say like that? Because he thinks according to the Shastra. And he speaks according to the Shastra and he acts according to the Shastra. Therefore, he is perfect. So to think the Guru to be independent of the Shastra, independent of the Sampradaya, that is a sign of a Guru Gaurava Atishaya. So sometimes there may be certain apparent faults which may be seen in the Guru. That is because the essential framework of the material world is defective. Suppose, for example, Prabhupada is giving a recording. So maybe that recorder did not record properly. Because of that, the person who transcribed, he made a mistake in the transcription. Could be possible. Or sometimes certain Prabhupada's some thick Bengali accent. English is foreign language to him. Sometimes the disciple may have misunderstood in a different way. So the essential framework of the material world is defective. Because of that, certain apparent faults may be seen. Sometimes Prabhupada has used certain words in his purports. But the English language keeps on changing. So one of the reasons why the previous acharyas they chose to write commentaries on Sanskrit is that Sanskrit language does not change over a period of time. Sanskrit language does not change over a period of time. It is like a organic preservative. Organic preservative. The language does not change. Therefore, the whatever vichara a person wants to convey in one's writing, that remains even after many years. But the English language, or other languages, the meanings of the words, some of the words which have a very simple meaning. One devotee was sharing the class. He was saying, he said that he told one apparent very simple word in the Sanskrit, in English. He said, be careful, don't use this word in the Bhagavatam class because this word has a very vulgar meaning in the current society, certain cosmopolitan circles. Don't use these words in the class like that he mentioned. So the words keep changing. Because of that, sometimes the certain apparent faults may be seen in the acharyas. It's not his fault. And sometimes an acharya may be quoting a material authority, a scientist. And that authority may turn out to be imperfect in due course of time. Because of that, certain apparent faults may be seen. Otherwise, a guru who thinks, speaks, and acts according to the Shastra is actually perfect. In that way, in the shloka, purport, Prabhupada is highlighting this point of how one should not see the guru. One more, I'll just take maybe 10 more minutes, and then one more point I want to highlight. So far we discussed about the Guru Laghava and Guru Dvesha, and then another extreme is that Guru Gaurava Atishaya, and then finding the balance is that Shastrokta Guru Nishtha. We spoke about that. And speaking about this particular shloka quoted in the purport, Matra Swastra Duhitruva. So in another context, in the third canto, when Maitreya Rishi is narrating the Brahmaji's creation, so at that time Maitreya Rishi says that Vacham Duhitaram Tanvim Swayambur Haratam Manaha Akamam Chakame Kshatta Sakama Itina Shruta. He says that, O Vidura, we have heard that lusty Brahma desired his attractive and delicate limbed daughter Vak, who had no desire for him. So here, Maitreya Rishi says that we have heard that once Brahma also got attracted to his daughter. And in this purport, Vishnu Chakotipad says that even those who are very learned and with great power of discernment cannot control lust. And this verse shows, this episode is an example for that. Essentially, this Matra Swastra Duhitruva is an example for that. This incident is also there. Even Brahma, who is highly learned with a great power of discernment, who is the presiding deity of intelligence, who also became a victim of lust. But Maitreya Rishi is saying that we have heard. That means Vishnu Chakotipad says that such incidents should not be spoken. Although this incident should not be spoken, but in order to give knowledge, I am speaking this incident, but without finding fault with Brahma. Because I fear committing an offense towards an exalted personality like Brahma. So sometimes when a great person commits a mistake, if we actually speak about the mistake of the great person with a fault-finding attitude, then that will be taken seriously by the Lord. In one class, as soon as Radhanath Swami Maharaj mentioned that when an ordinary person finds faults with the mistakes of the great persons, that fault-finding nature is taken more seriously by the Lord than the faults committed by the great person. A great person may commit certain faults, like Brahma getting attracted towards the daughter. But then if we speak of this incident with a fault-finding attitude, this will be, our fault-finding attitude will be taken more seriously by Krishna than the mistake of Brahma. So therefore one has to be careful. So therefore Maitreya Rishi is speaking this incident with great care and attention. He is saying that we have heard. So when the Brahmaji's sons saw that Brahma is getting attracted, is going behind his daughter. So at that time, the sages headed by Marichi, they gave instructions to Brahma out of affection. Tad adharme kritamatim vilokya pitaram suta Marichi mukhya munayo Vishrambat pratyabodayan. Vishrambat means out of affection, they gave instructions to Brahma. So normally, those subordinates, they don't give instruction to the superiors. So, but the sons of Brahma, they give instruction to Brahma out of affection, because they were fearful that when common people see Brahma getting affected by lust, it will create a disturbance in the society. It will create a disturbance in the universe. So therefore, they actually spoke to Brahma out of affection. They gave good instruction. If we see our Shastras are Sanatan Dharma, again, one should not be a blind follower. For example, in Sanskrit, the word Patni means a wife. Patni means what? Patim Nayati iti Patnihi. When the husband is following the path of Dharma, the wife should extend her cooperation, assist the husband in support the husband to follow the path of Dharma. And if the husband is deviating from the path of Dharma, then the wife should bring the husband back to the path of Dharma. That is the role of a wife. That is why Patim Nayati iti Patnihi. One who brings the Pati back to the path of Dharma, she is called as the Patni. So, just like a Pati-Patni relationship is there, similar relationship is there between the Guru and the disciple. Disciple is like the wife of the Guru. In the sense, a similar relationship. Like Prabhupada comments on this in the Devahuti, Devahuti Kardama Muni, how Devahuti served Kardama Muni. In that regard, Prabhupada also talks about how a disciple should serve the Guru. So the similar point, just like Patim Nayati iti Patnihi, the Patni should bring back the husband to the path of Dharma. Similarly, when a subordinate sees the superior is going away from the path of Dharma, then the subordinate maintaining the respect toward the superior, but should put effort to bring back the superior back to the path of Dharma. And that is what the Marichi and other sons are doing. Vishrambat Pratyabodhayan. Out of affection, they gave instructions to Brahma. And they said that Naitat Purvai Kritam Twadye na Karishyanti Chapare. Yastvam Duhitaram Gachet Anigrahyangajam Prabhu. And they said that this act of not controlling your lust, although you are the master and approaching your daughter, has not been done by persons or even Brahmas or previous kalpas in the past, and will not be done by anyone in the future. This action has never been done in the past and will never be done in the future. So they try to remind Brahma how this is an improper act. And then they said that Teji Yasam Apikhetan Na Shushlokyam Jagat Guru Yadvruttam Anutishtanvai Loka Kshemaya Kalpate. O Guru of the universe, Jagat Guru, this act does not benefit the reputation of those who have more power than others. Because the population should derive benefit in following your conduct. So we can see why I am quoting this episode is that in this episode, the attitude of these Brahma sons, how they did not act according to Guru Gaurav Atishaya. So whatever our Guru Brahma is doing, that is the Leela of the Guru. They didn't have that attitude. At the same time, they also did not have the attitude of Guru Dvesha or Guru Laghava, because they are having the attitude of respect towards Brahma. Because Guru Laghava, Guru Dvesha is that completely considering him to be an ordinary person and hating him. So they have the main attitude of respect, they have the attitude of affection towards Brahma. At the same time, they are not having a Guru Gaurav Atishaya, because they are reminding Brahma how this conduct is improper, and they are saying that this has never been done by anybody in the past, it will never be done by anybody in the future, and this will not benefit the population, because this kind of conduct, people will take a wrong inspiration. And then they say, Tasmai Namo Bhagavate Yayidam Svena Rochisha Atmastam Vyanjayanasa Sadarmam Patumarghati. And when they saw, even after when they spoke like that, Brahma's mind was still affected by lust. Because sometimes because Kama is so powerful, even the good instructions may not penetrate the mind which is affected by Kama. That is why Krishna says that Kamayesh Jayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangasteshu Vajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodho Vijayate. After a certain stage, after the Kama has progressed beyond a certain stage, no amount of instruction will not register in the mind of a person. So when they saw that Brahma's mind is still affected by Kama, then they offered prayers to Krishna. Tasmai Namo Bhagavate. We offer respects to the Supreme Lord who has produced this universe, situated within himself by his own power. Sadharmam Patumargati. He should protect Dharma. In this way, they pray to the Bhagavan. So this example of the dealings of these sons of Brahma towards Brahma, this is a appropriate balance between Guru Laghava and Guru Gaurava Atishaya. So in summary, what we discussed about Guru Laghava and Guru Dvesha, and then we discussed about Guru Gaurava Atishaya, and as a balanced approach is that Shastrokta Guru Nishta. Then finally, as an example in relation to that context, we discussed this Brahma's sons towards Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Very
Hare
beautiful class, Prabhuji. Very beautiful topic you picked up. Because time and again we have seen, things opposite to this what you discussed. Guru Laghava, Guru Dvesha, and then of course the very extreme opposite, Guru Atishaya, you said. And the solution you also gave, Shastra Ukta Guru Nishta, putting faith in Guru centered around Shastra. And we are very glad that Srila Prabhupada has gave us the similar understanding through his books and his own personal life, as you were explaining also in one of the incidents when disciples of Srila Prabhupada trying saying that Srila Prabhupada is Krishna himself, and Prabhupada stopped them right away. Very beautiful class, Prabhu. Most of it you took all the time to explain this beautiful concept of Guru Laghava Dvesha and Atishya, and then how to see Guru. And I appreciate your humility, Prabhu. You are such an advanced devotee, but you very beautifully said that you heard this point from some other devotee class, and this is the beauty of a devotee like you, Prabhu. You gave full points to Hari Parshad Prabhu, that you listen from his class and then you are giving it to us. But that is also beauty of listening to these classes, because I never have heard that class. So through you, so practically through the parampara, we are listening again a topic which is always, beneficial in our own spiritual practice, Prabhu. So thank you, Prabhu, for doing that. I really appreciate your class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, with your permission, there are a few hand raised. We'll go to the question answer session, Prabhu. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna. Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna. Shivakumar Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for today's class, Prabhu. As always, it's insightful and inspiring. Prabhu, one question on the faith in Guru has to be centered around Shastra, Prabhu. That is it not true that the whole Shastra itself we are looking at through the eyes of the Guru? In that sense, I'm finding it difficult to understand how can still we keep the Shastra as the foundation outside of Guru, for the fact that we are seeing Shastra through the eyes of the Guru, Prabhu. Just to give one situation, Prabhu, there are few slokas, I mean, at least in my short memory, where the sloka translation says something, but Acharya gives a different explanation that this is how it has to be understood, although the sloka word to word and translation is something else. There are few cases, Prabhu. So I just wanted to kind of, in the context of that example, how can we understand this point, Prabhu?
See, definitely the need of a person guru is highly emphasized in the Shastra. In order to learn the Shastra, we need a living person. Definitely. Tad Vijnanartham sa gurum eva abhigachet. One must approach a guru to learn transcendental knowledge. Dharma stapana hetu sadhura vyavahara. Mahaprabhu said that by seeing the behavior of a sadhu, we can understand how to practice dharma. Because Madhavendra Puri accepted prasadam in your house, the Sanodiya Brahmana, therefore I will also accept prasadam following the footsteps of Madhavendra Puri. So definitely the need of a person, guru, sadhu is very important, because through the living persons, we learn how to apply the principles of the Shastra in the current time, the current circumstances. So Prabhupada sometimes sometimes people actually, recently in one WhatsApp group, I mentioned one sloka, and then somebody said, oh, the translation of Prabhupada is wrong. So I mentioned that there may be, sometimes there may be some very minor errors or something, but like I quoted one, Prabhupada, once when Prabhupada was telling to one devotee, that the way I choose to, Prabhupada said there are two ways to translate. One is giving a literal translation, another is giving a bhavartha. Many of the traditional books, you'll also find the bhavartha of the shloka. Bhavartha is that explaining the mood of the shloka, the essence of the shloka in your own words. And Prabhupada said that sometimes I have done the bhavartha. For example, in the second canto, 5th chapter, there is a term Karavamalaka comes. Narada says to Brahma, the whole universe is like a Karavamalaka, it's like a Amalaki fruit in your hand. Karavamalaka, like Amalaki fruit in your hand. You know everything about the universe. But Prabhupada is translating as a walnut in the grip. It is not a literal translation. But people in the Western background, they may not be able to understand this Karavamalaka. Therefore, he is translating, he is giving a bhavartha, walnut in a group, which they can actually understand. So, like that, there are other instances are there. So we have to see in that line. Another thing is that another point what I want to say. What was your other question? Can you again repeat?
Yeah, I was just quoting Prabhu. I think what you are citing is more of the examples that are given in the literature may not be relevant for the time. But what I was kind of asking Prabhu, even Siddhanta wise, if the translation gives a particular flavor, but actually Prabhupada gives a different flavor, I guess probably to align it more for Bhakti tradition, whereas the translation might give a different thing.
Yeah, that is because Prabhupada's mood of urgency, right from the beginning of the first chapter, he emphasizes the importance of devotional service. Although the bhakti, when we see from the sequence point of the Bhagavad Gita, it may come later, but Prabhupada's mood of urgency, he actually gives it right from the beginning. So therefore, one should actually learn to appreciate, focus on the essence, appreciate the mood of the Acharya.
Thank you so much. Correct.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for asking. Thank you, Prabhu, for answering the question. Yes, we can understand that Srila Prabhupada in very short time had to do so many things. And there is a proof of that. We don't have to even continue repeating. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Shiv Kumar Prabhu, for asking that beautiful question too. Anuradha Mataji, Hare Krishna, Anvarnam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam on goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, as you were mentioning about how you heard it from Haripashit Prabhu, when Haripashit Prabhu was here, I also heard from him that, how, I mean, I might be quoting it wrong, but my understanding on how Shastra is not the only ultimate authority, because we hear that Gaurkishore Das Babaji, he could recite he knew the Srimad Bhagavatam, even if he was illiterate, materially, seemingly. So even Acharya's realizations are Vedavakya. So how do we is it like Ati Gaurava, Atishaya category, Prabhu? Like this is what Haripasha Prabhu was saying, Shastras are not the ultimate Guru's realization also as good as Shastra. Did you get my question, Prabhu?
So when you see the Pramana, Shastras, Vedas are the Pramanas, Puranas are the Pramanas, Dharma Shastras are the Pramana, and also the words of the liberated personalities and their practice, that is also a Pramana. So therefore, but in the behavior and the words of the gurus or the sadhus, sometimes there may be a context involved in that. So therefore, sometimes we may have to separate the contextual thing from the universal principle. Certain things are universal principles, certain things are contextual. Certain cases we may have to separate that. But the behavior of the acharyas and sadhus, they are also the pramana. They are as good as the shastra. In the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada quotes one particular verse. He says that any book which is written in pursuance of the conclusions of the Vedic literatures, that is also considered to be a Shastra. So that way, definition of a Shastra is little extended also. I don't know whether.
So, yes, Prabhu, I got what you're like. Prabhupada also said for Narottam Das Thakur on NOD lecture Vrindavan, he said anybody who follows the morning program for 12 years without fail, his words become Vedavakya. That's what Prabhupada said on his NOD lecture. So, is it anyhow contradicting what you were saying, Prabhu, or it's aligned? Because then for a person, he has to be really intelligent to understand, which is Shastra and which is a proof. As a practical way of looking at it, it gets difficult. Do I follow this, or because Guru, it must be either, we don't know whether Guru is saying it out of realization, which might be even to Acharya.
We can inquire actually. We can get clarified by following the proper etiquette. One can inquire.
Sorry, please go ahead.
So there is a verse I wanted to mention about the pramana. Vedaha akilaha dharma moolam smritishilecha tadvidam acharashaiva sadhunam atmana tushtirevacha. Vedas, the smritis written by the rishis, the conduct of the learned people, and the intuition and the mind of the learned people, the noble souls, they are the pramana for how to practice dharma. Acharashchaiva sadhunam atmanaha tushtirevacha. So therefore, the intuition, mind, or the conduct of the learned people, that's also considered as a pramana. Sometimes when there is a doubt about certain things, one can definitely clarify with the particular person by following the principles of Vaishnava etiquette. So it should not be in the mood of challenging or testing the Guru. When you talk about testing the Guru, a person can test the Guru before accepting the Guru. Before accepting the disciple, a Guru can test the disciple. And before accepting the Guru, a disciple can also test the Guru. But after we accept the Guru, a disciple should not test the Guru. But the disciple can continue to test the Guru even after accepting the disciple. Just like Shukdev Goswami continued to test the Parishit Maharaj the 6th canto, 9th canto, and the 12th canto. The Guru has the authority to test the disciple even after accepting the disciple. But the disciple can test the Guru before accepting the Guru by asking questions. But after accepting the Guru, when you are asking questions, you should not be in the mood of testing the Guru. You should not be in the mood of challenging, but by following the proper principles of etiquette, when we have a doubt about a particular thing, about a particular statement, this one, we can actually inquire from the Guru.
Where can we find this verse that you read, Prabhu? Like which all are the pramanas? Can you put it in the chat?
This is from Manusmriti.
Okay.
I'll just share the screen.
So, Prabhu, with the follow-up that you're saying, I'm sorry, it's like so many confusions, that when we are making sure that we are like, almost like, we are not doubting our Guru because we have now accepted after, contemplating and accepting Guru. How do we make sure we don't get into the line of Guru Atishaya, Guru Gaurava Atishaya, because that looks very close. It's in a way we do follow our Guru in good faith, blindly, and then also we have to check ourselves. Is it only that we do not consider him as Krishna? That is our litmus test. That like we don't consider him as Krishna. Is that only way to guard ourselves from Guru Gaurava Atishaya? Or something else?
Guru Gaurava Atishaya mentioned 3-4 points. Considering Guru as Krishna, that is one aspect. That is like the extreme aspect of Guru Gaurava Atishaya. Even apart from that, considering the Guru as independent of the Sampradaya, independent of the Shastra, that is also Guru Gaurava Atishaya.
Okay.
So, because oftentimes, sometimes there are people from different, who are disciples of different Gurus. So, because of Guru Gaurava Atishaya, what happens? Sometimes there is conflict between disciples of different Gurus. So, but when they see the Guru as a representative of the Shastra, then unnecessarily these conflicts will not arise. So otherwise one may think, oh, this person is taking initiation from this Guru, he is going to this group, why not to our group? Sometimes, certain times the people, there are certain places, there's unnecessary pressure. How can you take initiation from that Guru? If you are aspiring from my Guru only, then only I will recommend. But this is because of Guru Gaurava Atishaya, because everybody has a different inspiration to take Diksha from different Gurus. And when you see the different bona fide Gurus are representative of the Shastra, one will have no problem in recommending and encouraging whatever, whomever a person wants to take initiation from. But because of Guru Gaurava Atishaya, this kind of Guru groupism comes. That is because one doesn't see the Guru as a representative of the Shastra or the Sampradaya. Just like in an ordinary world, suppose when a person is working as a police, one may be working for a state government police. But when he meets a central government police or a BSF or the army police, he will show respect to them. That, oh, this person is also working for the government only. He will not say that they will not form a groupism. That, oh, I am working for state government, you are for different this one. That is a very narrow mindset. But a mature person will see, oh, all these persons, they were also representative of the government, working for the government only. They will show appropriate respect, whatever is required. In the same way, the same principle, seeing the Guru or the Sadhus as a representative of the Shastra. Not only within the Sampradaya, even when we see other bona fide Sampradayas, when we see other Gurus or the Sadhus, when they are properly representing the Shastra by teaching and by following, one will show proper respect to them also. So therefore, this mood of seeing the as a representative of the Shastra, Shastrokta Guru Nishta will make a person more mature in having the proper attitude of respect towards the other devotees of disciples of other Gurus and towards the sadhus and Gurus from other Sampradaya within the Sanatana Dharma.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu, for a wonderful explanation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, seems like Jyoti Mataji has a question. Would you like to read, Prabhuji, in the chat box, or you want me to read it, Prabhuji?
I have a question. I heard if a devotee constantly distributes Srimad Bhagavatam for entire life, then Lord Krishna will enter in heart at the time of death. I searched this in which purport, but I haven't found. Could you please give evidence for this? Any verse which states, could you please help? So Krishna says in the Gita, Nacha tasman manushyeshu kaschinme priyakritamaha bhavita nachame tasmat anya priyataro bhuvi. One who actually shares this message between this conversation which took place between me and Arjuna. Such a person is the most dear person. There will never be a person more dear to me than such a person, neither in the future nor in the past. So, same statement applies to Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam also contains pastimes of Krishna. One who shares the message of Bhagavatam, distributes Bhagavatam, such a person becomes most dear to Krishna. That means Krishna actually, such a person enters the heart of Krishna. That's why Krishna says, I'm most dear. That person is most dear. The Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, you can see that shloka, I think, 68, 69, etc. Okay. I think I'll stop here. I need to.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji, it's getting late too, because then many devotees have to go to work. Yeah, I was thinking not at the time of death, but before death, we start distributing Srila Prabhupada books. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, dear devotees, thank you for being there. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your beautiful class. Let us pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the assembled Vaishnavas on the call. Vancha kalpacha kripa
कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय
जय। जगत गुरु शीला प्रभुपाद
जय
की जय।
जय
राधिका वल्लभ
Thank
प्रभु
you
जी
so much,
की
Prabhuji.
जय।
Jai.
जय।